Hi everybody, welcome to another Simple Journey. This page begins with me masking off some words in the text that happen to fit perfectly with the page that I've got in mind. This is a lawn and garden book, and the text was how to build a home golf course. Well, I'm going to be doing a page on home and houses, so I just masked off the portion that said how to build a home. And then the first sentence on the top said, the best way. So I like that too. Now, even though the text is already there in the book, I wanted the background to be more of a jumbled text. So I'm using dictionary pages, novel pages, different size fonts, and different colors of paper just to add more variety to the background. It's more of a collage look rather than just a straight text. I'm getting all of these pieces on in a nice random order. I left the bottom portion vacant because I was thinking about using colored scrapbook paper there, collaging it with colored paper. But after I thought about it and got the collage down, I decided that I really wanted to paint the whole page, so I had the same collage showing through on the whole page. Does that make any sense? So anyway, I go back off camera and fill in that portion that I'm leaving blank right now. Okay, I got the whole page done. Now I'm going to sketch in that little hill where my houses will sit. I'm not using any gesso on this page. I'm just using paint. I'm going for a whimsical look on this layout, so I opted to not go with the traditional, predictable blue sky, but putting in a pink sky instead. Pink has always been one of my favorite colors. Even when new colors come and go and I might like something else for a while, you can always count on pink to be a favorite. I'm using, I think, about 3 different colors of green for the little hill. Don't know why I didn't jump out with some non-traditional color for that, but anyway, we're going with green for the grass. Using different colors to give it some texture and variation. Speaking of texture, I'm going to use the Punchinella to put in even more. I think those little Punchinella dots just are happy. Okay, when the pink dried, it was darker than I wanted. I was thinking really of a softer pink, and it dried just a little bit too bright, so I'm knocking it back with some more watered down paint. Pink is a very difficult color to photograph. I noticed at the end, I just couldn't get the pinks to be true. It looks sometimes it looks lavender, It's a true pink. Okay, now the houses are going to be built with some of these scraps. Before I started, I pulled out a lot of different scraps in the color schemes I was thinking about. Now I'm assembling. Let's see if I like what I've gotten so far. Some text for the houses, text, music, a little scalloped scrap. Let's go on the bottom of that roof. We'll switch out this house. This is some spray painted book text. Yeah, my head knocked the camera around and I didn't realize it until a little bit later. Sorry about that. It won't stay very long. And now placing them on the page, making some final decisions here. That house on the right was just a little bit too stark, so whoop, found the crooked camera when I reached for my spray paint. Spray that down, give it a little bit of color. Pretty well pleased now with the basic houses. I'm making a terrible mess of the glue on my work mat. I'll have to clean that up. I am a very messy crafter. Okay, now it's time for some doors and windows. And these will get rearranged, shuffled, replaced. I'm going to be adding some hand-drawn hearts to each of the houses. Now that door is too pink. After I put the hearts on, there was too much pink on that house, so I substituted it. And this old piece of scrapbook paper had perfect shapes for little wonky windows. So I cut some of those out to go on one of the houses. Just perfect little irregular squares. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be the final answer on the doors and windows. And a couple of them needed some little chimneys. Now I'm going to start outlining with Sharpie markers. And I am so sorry, I stick my head in the way. I had to edit out a lot of this portion because sometimes I covered the whole book with my head. But it's just outlining, so I think we can miss that anyway. We don't have to see all the outlining, so I would have probably edited it out even if my head hadn't been in the way. I wanted to use different colors on all the different houses and roofs and doors and windows rather than going with the usual black outlining. Just thought it looked happier, more whimsical, staying with that happy, bright theme. Now I'm going to take off the mask. Turned out pretty well. Just a little bit of paint seeped up underneath that top one, but only a little. That turned out quite well. The challenge was to fit my quote around those saved book phrases. The book phrases were pretty much stuck where they were, so I had to do a lot of rearranging to get my cutout quote to fit on the page. And believe me, I cut out a lot of the rearranging, so I don't put you through all of that. I had the words all over that page at one point. But in the end, I finally decided on something that I think worked for me. Okay, I knew I wanted to add this border to the bottom, so I thought it would be a good idea to get the border on before I made the final decision on where the words were going to go. This is deli paper, jelly printed deli paper that I made a bunch of scalloped borders for. I just sat one day and scalloped and bordered and cut, and they're so handy to reach in and pull them out when you want a pretty border. Okay, everything's glued down now. I'm kind of catching on some loose ends, and I added a heart behind the word love, and we have more outlining and more of my head in the way. Seriously? Let's start with doodling now. I'm not much of a doodler. I forget about it. I don't think I'm good at it, but I'm trying to encourage myself to add more hand doodling to my work. I think it's a nice finishing touch. So that's what I'm doing, doodling. Kind of making the words, the book phrases stand out a little more, repeating the scallops from the bottom around those portions of the book text. Kind of echoes the same scallops on the little roof. The background looked a little stark. There wasn't much texture to it, so I'm adding some word text, masking off the houses as I stamp. And I decided to add some stars as well. I came back and was doing this later, and I forgot to turn on one of my lights, so it's a little bit dark on the left-hand side. Okay, if texture is good for the sky, it's good for the grass, right? So I put a little more in the bottom, still using that mask so that I don't stamp over my houses. And what else does it need? Okay, I'm going to put some swirls up there in the sky. And some hatches in the grass. See, I'm really working on my doodling. I may get it yet. Okay, now it's time for, a border. Okay. Just dots and dashes around the border. Again, just staying away from black. Okay, now I've got out the white pen. Why not? Put some on the border too. Once you get started with that white pen, it's hard to stop. Keep adding scallops. Okay, I believe that's going to call this page done. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.